What's going on, everybody? My name is Jason. I work at All Out Bikes, and what we have here is we have a mystery box. A good customer of ours came up to me and asked me if he bought a bike online, if I would be willing to put it together, and I'm like, absolutely. I have no problem with putting bikes together that have been bought online. It's just sometimes they can be a royal pain in the rear end, but you know what? I charge for what I do, and again, I have no problem doing it. The last shop I used to work at, they would not do stuff like that, and of course, bike shops that won't touch other bikes simply because you didn't buy it from them. They give other shops a bad name. The way I look at it is you're coming here, and I'm looking at it as an opportunity, future opportunity to make money and to actually gain good customers. And you don't have to buy a bike from me for me to work on your bike or build it or even talk to you. So let's take a look at this. Now, as you can see, there are no markings on this box. It was delivered upside down, which is not good. Now, I did turn the bike upside down. I haven't taken a look at it, so actually you're going to be looking at it with me, because it's still got all the wrapping. Let me go ahead and get this out and see. So it is a full carbon bike, and from the picture that the customer showed me, the bike looks pretty good. It's a full carbon frame. It was said to be a 105 equipped bike. Now, there's not as much 105 on this as maybe the customer would have liked, but the big things are 105, the shifters, the derailleur front and rear. The cranks are not 105, the hubs are not 105, and the cassette and chain are not 105. That's something companies do just because Shimano is more expensive, and they're better. They're more expensive for a reason, but they'll switch out things to save a few bucks. And this bike retailed for $1,800 with a full carbon and 105. And I was telling Tim that we can't. There's nothing that I can order that will have the similar stuff. So he wanted to try it out anyway, and we're gonna go ahead and see and give an honest review. There is one thing I see that is going to be a little bit of an issue on the bike, potentially in the future, and that is these bikes that are coming with these funky shaped seat posts. If you ever break a seat post in like an accident, let's say you've got it on the roof of your car and you accidentally drive it through a drive-through, forgetting that you've got the bike on the top of the car, and the seat post gets damaged. Well, you're buying a new bike, unless if you can get some of these frame repair companies to maybe do a seat post repair, and it is possible. So this does have an Aero seat post. It's kind of thick. It's really thick there. I've seen other companies where the carbon is thinner and lighter. This is not a super light post, it feels like, but then again, the seat, I'm probably feeling a lot of the weight of the seat because this is not a titanium seat or anything like that. The carbon fiber, let's take a look at the weave here, and it's wow. Okay. The inside of the seat post, let me try to get my camera and see if I can show this. I don't know if you can see by this, but the wall thickness on the seat post, it's thinner in places and thicker in other places, so it's a little, okay, you can tell it's a cheaper post, and that's okay. It's a seat post. Big deal. It doesn't have to be perfect. So let's find where the seat clamp is, and get a better look at this. Now, I do believe that this is the future of bikes, where people just buy them online. I don't like it, but I'm accepting it. And, you know, that's... What is this? Oh, that must be for the crank. And it comes with some really cheap pedals, and it comes with a really cheap Allen set. That's okay, we've got some better tools that we'll be using on this. Okay. Ah, I see where that is. So we're going to... I heard that squeaking. These companies just don't believe in putting grease on anything or washers. There probably should be a washer on this, but it didn't come that way from the factory, so I'm not going to change that. But greasing your threads is pretty important. Also, let's put a little bit of grease on in between these two aluminum pieces that are going to be sliding against each other. Now, I'm using the grease for this. Now, I'm going to be using fiber grip on the seat post itself. That way, I don't have to over tighten things. It's less likely to be get damaged. Now, this is a little unusual. I've got to put this inside the frame, and I've got to slide it in place without dropping it in the frame. I got it. That was easy. Today I'm going to be using this Finish Line fiber grip. It's a special grease that actually has like it's got like almost like a sand inside of the grease, and it's there simply to cause a little bit of friction. Now, years ago, if a seat post was slipping, the only thing you could do was tighten it down more, and the problem is whenever you did that, it could cause problems. Thankfully, they've come out with this. Somebody was really smart whenever they designed this stuff right here, because this adds enough friction that you don't have to tighten it nearly as much, which is a good thing. And I normally use my reaming tool to clean out the frame. However, you can't do that on carbon fiber frames. You can and will damage the frame if you do that. So we're going to just say that this frame has no burrs in it, and it really shouldn't because of the way the frame was made. This was all hand-laid carbon fiber, and you don't tend to have hard, sharp objects that can scratch and damage seat posts. It sounds so weird whenever you're putting this post in, because you can actually hear it sounds like sand, and it doesn't sound like a very good sound. But to me, that's music to my ears because I know that seat post isn't going to be moving. Now, unfortunately, in the shipping process, the derailleur hanger here has gotten bent, and I'm going to see if I can kind of show. Yep, there we go. If you look at the tire here, you can actually see that the derailleur cage right there is actually bent in, where it's actually making contact with the spokes, which is a very bad thing. But that's okay. I've got a tool that'll realign it. There's a small fear here about the derailleur hanger. If it breaks, I'm not entirely sure what kind it is. We don't need to worry about that right now. I just need to straighten it out, and we'll take it one step at a time. The previous video that I did was on a adult trike that came from Amazon, which I believe is exactly where this either came from, Amazon or eBay. Tim will correct me whenever he watches this video. I'm sorry, Tim, I can't remember where it was. I do believe it was, I think it was Amazon. But let's get the wrapping off here, and let's get a better look at this thing, see how it looks. Alright, so I am back from the test ride, and let's talk about this bike. I mean, it's a great looking bike. Now, Tim just actually came in just a minute ago, and he let me know that he got this from Amazon, and it was $1,600. And you know what? It's a great looking bike for $1,600. It's not perfect, okay? There are some little things about it. The seat post, do not mess up the seat post, because if you do, you're buying a new bike, because this seat post doesn't look quite like anything else. There might be a seat post somewhere out there that you can get, but the problem is, you know, what would it be? I don't know, so you probably wouldn't know. The wheels, it'd be nice if the wheels were upgraded on this. It's got the 105 rear derailleur. That's just excellent. The rear, the cassette that's on here is the, darn it, Sunshine, was it? Yes, the Sunshine cassette. It's not Shimano, but you know what? Actually, I was impressed with how well it shifted. The front shifted very well. It's got a nice looking, looks to be CNC machined crank. The carbon frame does look good. The carbon fork looks good. Now, if you want to change the stem, that's another issue, because this stem and handlebar combination is integrated, and any stem that you come up with is not going to match up with the spacers on here. So you're going to end up having the cables exposed, and it's looking great right now, but if you change the stem, it's not going to look good. The handlebars were very flexy. I'm a little disappointed in how flexy the handlebars are. The tires, well, the tires are just wire bead tires, nothing fancy. So if Tim here upgrades the wheels, then that will be a nice little upgrade on there. He did end up coming in, and he wanted me to put this computer mount on there, and this is another issue. This is for a Garmin computer and like a action camera under here, and it will not fit the handlebars, because this is made for a round oversized handlebar, and this bar is kind of arrow. So it's not perfect, but if you're looking for a inexpensive full carbon bike, this does look pretty good. I mean, you get what you pay for. My suggestion would be, sorry Tim, now this is a great bike. He's got it. I'm not saying that to return it, because you know what, it's not bad. What I like to do in cases like this is I get a very nice aluminum frame, and then I slap some really nice carbon parts on there, and which would end up being about the same price. But anyway, you can check this out. It's the Kabon. It's $1,600 on Amazon, but it was a pain to put together. But anyway, if this was helpful in any way, please leave me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to check out some other videos on the corner of the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.